Yeah.
Welcome to Overpromised with Covino and Rich. Fox Sports Radio Monday through Friday, 2 to 4 on the West, 5 to 7 on the East. Hope you're having a great week.
Yeah, let's do this. And you know what? A special Overpromised today because we're joined by a superstar, a guy that, man, we met him at the Super Bowl. My first instinct was, I hate that this guy is so nice because I'm a 49ers fan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna have to root for Puka Nacua. What's going on, man?
What's up, my guy? How you doing?
I'll tell you what, it is sort of a bummer when you meet players on teams you're not supposed to root for. And now I got to root for Puka because when we met him in the Super Bowl, I was like, this guy's just a good dude.
Well, it changes. You start rooting for good dudes. You
Players,
can still root
yeah.
for your team. Yeah.
I love to hear that. Hopefully we'll see you in some blue and yellow soon then.
You know what? I can be convinced. It depends. Now, let me ask you this. Let's start out by talking about the offseason. 6 months since January, right? Since the playoffs. What are you doing in the offseason? Is it hard to stay on track? Do you check out completely or what?
I guess I wish I could have been able to check out a little bit, but I feel like I've been blessed. Cooper Kupp, I feel like the guy talking about the second most after Matthew, as somebody who took me under his wing, kind of the start right after the Super Bowl. The Sunday we were texting saying, hey, right after the game's done, I'm gonna be working out Monday morning, 6 a.m. Like, if you're gonna be there, let me know. Like, we got right to it. So it's made it super fun, especially with the way our season ended. It was one crazy season and a lot of memories and a lot of lessons learned. But the way it ended definitely left a lot of motivation going into this year.
So he's keeping you disciplined. You're pushing each other. And I'm wondering, how intense are these workouts? And are you able to snack and stay out a little bit? Like, are you able to have some fun? Are you able to have a drink, a cocktail, donuts? Like, how serious is this in the off season?
Coop's workouts are not easy. My brothers have come through, and I would say Coop's workouts are up 3-0 against the Nacua brothers.
I can only imagine, though, like, that's how guys get to an elite level, like Kupp and Puka, because, I'm sure there's guys that just show up to camp and it's like they've been chilling for months. Meanwhile, you guys are busting your ass.
And they're prepared, yeah.
Yeah, it's been super fun. And just like you said, we compete against each other, and Coop's the man. He loves to play basketball, and I do too. So we find our ways to keep competitive with each other, but then also like we're well aware of the same goal and like the power, the damage that we were able to do last year together. So it's been fun. But I feel like I'm the little I have older brothers, so I'm still the little brother that's always kind of teasing Coop and stuff like that. And then he comes around and puts his foot down. He's like, hey, I'm the boss around here. So it's been really fun.
Could he defend you in basketball though? Because we've seen highlights. We know you could jam. We've seen you slam dunk. He could actually keep up. Could he slam?
I don't know. Coop can't slam. He's got the Kyrie around the basket finishing package. But yeah, Coop is probably one of the only people I think could guard me.
Well, you guys, you and Coop got one of the most elite quarterbacks in the NFL, Matthew Stafford. Yeah, I gotta ask, do the guys on the team, are they aware of his wife's podcast? Do they listen? When she says stuff, we always debate whether or not you guys listen or talk about Kelly's pod.
No, I actually just barely found out about her podcast. Like maybe like at the end of OTAs, me and Matthew asked, he was finishing up, but he's like, hey, I'm getting out of some trip. I'm going to New York or whatever. And we had kind of just mentioned about it, but no, it's not like a locker room talk. Right?
I figured that because, she gossips and has fun. I'm like, I don't think the guys give a shit.
You think he gives a shit? You think he cares at all?
Social media era, it's so hard. There's so many stuff different coming out. I think Drewski's probably the number one locker room talk in ours.
Again, you're right. This is the stuff we see on social media. How aware are you when you're in that zone and you're training with Cooper Kupp and you're dealing with important things with the team? Do you see the stuff about you on social media? How tuned in are you? Do you just ignore it all?
During the season last year, I definitely tried to stay away from it. There was so much having the first time of being in the NFL and just so many different things coming at you for the first time. It's just like, I don't want to take my brain into somewhere else because I can barely put my brain in football. So, but definitely I feel like in the off season and trying to enjoy it and like interact with the fans, I feel like I've gained a lot more fans since the beginning of the football season, stuff like that. And I love interacting with them, and everybody always has a good smile on their face when they come see me. Everybody's rocking the shotguns now. So I love to see that. And this is the time where I feel like I try to take advantage of that because it is a little bit different during season.
Puka, let me ask you because, you're focused. Rams, you, Cooper, Matthew. What are the other team storylines that deep down inside you're curious about yourself? Is it Aaron Rodgers and the Jets? Is it, Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh? Will that work out? Like, what are you secretly intrigued to see how it pans out?
I am excited to see how it's going to work out over there in Pittsburgh with Russell Wilson and what they got going on over there. But I'm always looking out for the coups and stuff like that. We just barely had Sione Takitaki go out there to the Patriots, and we got young Zach over there back in Denver, and then we got my guy Jay Hall down there in Minnesota. So we got a couple quarterbacks who I'm excited to hopefully get back there and take a couple snaps and see what they can do for their team. But it'll be fun. I'm excited.
Speaking of your rivals in your division, would it be okay in the locker room to even say anything nice about, let's say, like, yo, man, Brock Purdy, what he's doing is pretty cool, though. Like, could you say anything like that at all? Or it's like, no, we hate everybody. What's the mindset?
Yeah, I don't. We definitely. You see good football, and you love to see good football when we're going through the tape and stuff like that. But I wouldn't say we're over there shouting and screaming everybody else's name if they're not rocking our jersey.
And speaking of veterans, you mentioned Russell Wilson. If you could choose one, right, when it comes to veteran quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, because you're intrigued. You're intrigued by what he's going to bring this year.
Yeah, I am intrigued, but I'm other than Matthew, I would love.
Oh, I was gonna say his mic cut out just at the right time. He's like,
yeah. Other than Matthew, what?
Nothing. No one else matters.
No one else matters. Is that what it was?
It's only Matthew. Matthew's the only one that matters.
Now I gotta ask, being that it is the off season, are you also locked into like music, TV, this and that? Are you doing stuff that young guys do? Or are you you can't be that locked in where you and Coop are trading that much? What are you watching? What are you listening to? What's on Puka's mind right now?
I'm a Drake fan, even though I'm out here in LA. So I was all up in the Drake and Kendrick Lamar rap beef. I'm not big into TV shows, so I don't really watch any TV shows. I've been starting to listen to these podcasts. I've been looking into like the real estate restaurant area, so that's kind of been the latest feature in my mind.
Wait a second though. So you're a Drake guy. You have to admit he lost the battle though, right?
Yeah, he lost the battle, but it's a war. We're in the war. It's okay to lose a couple battles if you win the war.
I like the loyalty to Drake though. I mean, we got a lot of good music out of it, so we all won.
Oh my gosh. The locker room is going to be bumping this year. We got bangers that'll last the whole year for sure.
Yo, Puka, I know we're going to talk about Toyota and the partnership with the NFL in a second, but I got to ask, tonight, night 2 of the NFL draft, NBA draft, you're an LA guy. Do you think LeBron's son, you think Bronny gets drafted tonight? You love basketball too.
I do think Bronny's going to get drafted tonight. I really hope he does. If it would be in an LA jersey, that would be sweet. I don't know how that works or if they got even any picks left, but the king needs the squad out here in LA.
Nice.
Now tell us about Toyota again, the official automotive partner of the NFL. I know you're a big fan. Tell us about the partnership.
Yeah, so luckily I was able to do some stuff with Toyota around the Super Bowl when we had met for the first time, and they had a decked out Tacoma out there and stuff like that. We were able to see and kind of test and feel what it's like to be in I've never been a truck guy, so the Tundra was kind of like my first introduction to the truck space. But right now I'm driving the Toyota GR Supra right now. I got me a little Fast and Furious vibe going to me, but I absolutely love the Supra, and then I am gonna get a Tundra coming up, so like the real truck deal. But I've been blessed to be able to partnership with them. They got a couple of the young guys. They got the future of the NFL. They got the guy you had mentioned, the I don't know, we don't talk about it much in the Rams locker room, but Brock Purdy, the guy from up north is a big the Toyota guy, as long as Eli Manning. Those are guys that were mentioned earlier in the year. And then Michael Pittman, somebody who I think I love watching him play. Very similar, I feel like, style and the aggressive and physicality that he plays with the game of football. And then you got the two guys on the defensive side of the ball, some bigger, lengthier guys and guys who present a challenge to me and Kyle Hamilton and then Christian Gonzalez. So the future of the NFL is working with Toyota and stuff like that. And so I'm super excited, and I'm super excited for the stuff we're going to get to do later in the year around single moms and then the Diabetes Foundation, which are close to my heart.
That's awesome, man.
Nice,
And
man.
happy to hear it. What's it like when you pull up to a light in your Toyota? People recognize you, calling you out. That's got to feel good if someone's wearing your jersey or they notice, yo, Puka. Does that happen to you every once in a while?
Yeah, actually, yesterday was super fun. I was leaving. They had some soccer games down there at SoFi Stadium, so I'm leaving the stadium, and there were a couple of cars that see me, and they're like, "Hey, you drive a Toyota Supra?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm having a blast." We're stopped. There's a lot of traffic, so they came out into my window and stuff. We were able to snag a photo, but it's been a couple of times I've been seen, but it's been really fun.
That's awesome, man. And before you go, we're going to ask you 4 quick questions. The answer is either Puka Nacua or Hawk Tuah, okay? They're really simple questions. So is it Hawk Tuah or Nacua? Question number 1, who scored 6 times last year?
Oh, that's Puka Nacua.
Okay.
There it is.
All right. Whose trick is to spit on that thing?
It's got to be Hawk Tuah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait.
Yes.
I'm confused. I don't feel safe answering
No,
that question.
you're right. You're right. And you're good. Whose nickname means chubby in Samoan?
Your boy Puka Nacua.
There you go. And who dated a guy named Pookie?
Hawk Tuah.
4 for 4, man. There you go. 4 for 4. Puka Nacua, you're such a good dude, and it's always so nice to see you, man. You bring great energy, and we're wishing you all the best this season.
Yeah, I'm it pains me to say this, but
all good.
I root very hard
Yeah.
for Puka Nacua, even as a 49ers fan, because he's such a good dude. Yo, Puka, we're out here in LA, so let me ask real quick before you go. You said you love restaurants. We getting a Puka restaurant or what? And what type of food would it be?
Oh, if we get a Puka restaurant out here in LA, we're gonna have fire breakfast burritos for sure, but it'd have to be some local food. We'll get some chicken katsu, some Kalbi ribs and stuff like that, some good rice, some spam musubi, some Kahlua pork. We would do it right.
Nice, man.
Nice.
Looking forward to
Hey,
it.
continued success. Thank you so much for the time. We'll talk to you soon, man. Appreciate you.
See you guys. Thank you. Have a good one.
Later, Puka.
All right, thanks again to Puka Nacua, such a good dude.
Hate that he's so nice.
I know. Overpromised with Covino and Rich. Again, if you like our bonus pod, check out our Patreon. We do this Monday through Thursday. Covino and Rich, and of course, we're on Fox Sports Radio Monday through Friday. So, Rich, something we've all been talking about is the passing of Willie Mays.
Yeah. Giants wore number 24 in his honor just the other day.
Yeah, and until his passing at the age of 93, he was the greatest baseball player alive.
Yeah.
And when you look at his stats, you're sort of reminded and blown away on how good he was,
What
right?
sticks out most? What sticks out most? Is it 24-time All-Star?
You know what it is? It's how well-rounded he was, which makes him arguably the greatest of all time, right? We all think of Babe Ruth or Josh Gibson. You know, we think of all these superstars with these big numbers, but this dude did it in every area, like the epitome of a 5-tool guy.
He won a World Series, couple MVPs, batted over 300, and that 301 stands out because it's like, oh, he did it, you know?
660 bombs, and again, he missed prime years serving this country, so who knows where those numbers would have been. Again, he's in the 500 home run club, almost 2,000 RBIs, 301 like you said, over 3,000 hits. Willie Mays did it all. But now that he's no longer here, it poses a question I've seen a lot of people debating, so I want to know your thoughts. I want to know your thoughts, Fox Sports Radio Nation, Overpromised Nation. Now that he's unfortunately passed, who is the greatest baseball player alive today?
Now, there's layers here because you could say clean or not clean, because I think there's a clear answer. Maybe not as clear as you think, but
even if you even have to debate that, I think that makes the answer even more clear.
I think, is someone using clear? Remember that was the thing, right? I'm going A-Rod. I know people said he was a putz and he rubbed people the wrong way, but to me, Alex Rodriguez, 14-time All-Star. He won a World Series where he delivered for your Yankees. Last time they won, 3-time MVP, batted almost 300, 295, 696 on the home runs. I think, and he won a couple Gold Gloves, so he played a great game.
Remember, he also transitioned from shortstop to third base, so
I think what
props to him there.
You're forgetting is that A-Rod still had a little left in the tank, and baseball sort of forced him out. So I think you could even pad those stats a little more if you wanted.
What kills me about the A-Rod stats, not only are they incredibly inflated from steroids and lying about them, and again, he ruined his own image, just obsessed with winning in baseball. Amazing numbers, but the fact that he ended with 696, again, that's insane. But he was 4 away from 700.
I know.
When he still has some left. You know, again, his season ended abruptly. That whole thing was weird. As much as I like A-Rod and love how he reinvented himself and sort of cleaned up his image as a broadcaster, and he's such a great analyst, it can't be him, man, because in my mind, he cheated. And I'm surprised you didn't go Barry Bonds.
I was going to, but I thought that was too obvious because Barry Bonds, because everyone.
Dude, Barry Bonds' numbers are ridiculous.
Of course.
He leads in almost everything. When it comes to living legends,
Yeah.
he leads with 762 home runs. He leads in RBIs, 2,558. He leads in average over A-Rod, 298. 514 stolen bases. He dominates A-Rod there. But he was just shy of 3,000 hits. In fact, A-Rod only beats Bonds in hits. A-Rod got over 3,000 hits.
Hold on.
Bonds
A-Rod beats
does
him.
not.
He beats him in RBI too.
No.
Yeah, he does.
Does he?
Barry Bonds, 1996. I don't know where you're getting your numbers. I talked to Elias at the Sports Bureau.
Yeah? Total stats?
Oh, yeah.
What was the number?
1996 RBI for Bonds, 2,086 for A-Rod.
Well, I must have checked out a wrong number. So, wow, that's a horse of a different color, as your dad would say.
Yeah.
As the
guy in the
mayor
Wizard
of
of Oz.
Washington City said. Neither one of them are the answers, though, so it's irrelevant. Regardless, it doesn't matter.
No A-Rod. I think if you're going to say, let's play it down the middle, let's play it clean, now that Willie Mays is no longer with us, is the answer 100% Ken Griffey Jr.?
Why you want to take my answer? You said A-Rod. Ken Griffey Jr. is the answer.
Oh, I thought you said Barry Bonds. I said A-Rod, and we agreed.
I said I'm surprised he didn't say Barry Bonds. The answer is clearly Ken Griffey Jr. because there's no controversy around it. The dude had 630 home runs, batted 284 lifetime, just under 3,000 hits with 27 plus.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, in the prime of his career, he dealt with so much injury, dude. He missed so many games with the Reds.
Yeah, he would be the
White Sox.
If not injured, he would have been the leader of every category. I'm impressed by the 10 gold. I'm impressed by the 10 gold gloves.
Exactly. Wow. But you got to realize too, in 2002 he played 70 games with Cincinnati. Then he played 53 games, then 83 games.
Just never had a full season.
Barely over 100. Towards the end of his career, when he was back in Seattle, he played 33 games. So he missed so many games due to injury and still put up those crazy numbers. And he did it without any controversy. And he did it clean to our knowledge. Now, in an era when everyone else was playing dirty. You could also take in World Series, though, if you want to factor in. He never won.
Well, what I was going to say was where Griffey loses a little for me. Listen, Barry Bonds didn't win a World Series. Griffey didn't win a World Series.
A-Rod won.
Willie Mays did. A-Rod did. And not only did he not win a World Series, I think of Ken Griffey Jr. as the guy that, much like Mike Trout, doesn't even sniff the postseason. He had one postseason where it was like, oh, wow, Griffey delivered.
A postseason that saved baseball in Seattle.
Yeah, but
it's a great debate, and I do want to make it clear, I'm not one of those guys that hate on Bonds or A-Rod. A-Rod won a World Series for my Yankees. I thought he was incredible. His numbers are incredible. I feel like we don't appreciate his greatness enough. I'm not one of those guys that are like, screw these dudes. They're incredible. But you have to give credit where it's due.
Yeah.
Ken Griffey did it without the help of performance-enhancing drugs. Wow. So I'm just giving him the extra. I'm not taking away from A-Rod and Bonds and their greatness. I'm just giving more to Ken Griffey Jr. Hey, you might think Pujols, right? I mean, he's got to be in the conversation.
Frank Thomas, you ever see his numbers?
The big hurt.
Big hurt.
And the ladies love it too.
That is true. So,
so you decide. You make the call.
At Covino Rich, best living baseball player. And the funny part is, maybe a conversation for another day. We didn't even name one pitcher because that's such a different category. Because you could say Pedro, Randy Johnson, Clemens. There's a lot of
Ryan.
Oh, he's living. You're right.
Yes,
he is living. He is alive.
Yeah.
So, hey.
The big unit. I mean, there's so many guys you can name there, but we're talking position players. But want to know your thoughts. Overpromised Nation, Fox Sports Radio Nation. Again, at Covino and Rich, at Fox Sports Radio. Thanks again to Puka Nacua.
And we'll see you on Fox Sports Radio tomorrow. Until then, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the Overpromised land.
Goodbye.